here's what you're going to need to make a belt buckle. Screenshot that first little round there. That is the plan. You saw my stones laid out. The first thing is to clean it with a wire wheel, or if you have a sandblaster, you can sandblast it. Both work really well for me. You make your bezels, and then after you make your bezels, you are going to prep your back plate or your belt buckle. You're going to saw off the keeper. Sometimes accidents happen and you slice your hand open. And then you're going to want to smooth it all out so that everything, you don't want it to snag on anything. So just making sure all of your edges are nice and smooth. Then I made my keeper and tongue out of 6-gauge half-round wire. That tends to work really good for me. I've played with several different types of wire, but that's typically what I go for because it's sturdy but still dainty enough that you're not going to have any problems. Then you're going to use the flux that comes in that little kit and then the Stay Bright solder. This flux is called Stay Clean, and it has a much lower melting temperature versus sterling silver solder. It's a whole different beast. And then spray your buckle with water instead of dunking it in a thing just to like get everything set first. Then you can dunk it to finish cooling it if you need to. And then before you do your bezels, you're going to clean the surface of the buckle really well, just like you would a back plate if you were prepping it. I laid everything out to make sure it was perfect and everything was how I wanted it. And then once your bezels are ready to go, you're going to use your flux again. On each one, I did just a couple drops, and then you're going to place your Stay Bright solder on there again. And then you're going to solder everything down using your torch. Sometimes I like to use a piece of solder to kind of get where the solder didn't flow. So it's nice because it has a very low melting temperature, so you can just kind of tap it and it will flow wherever you want it to flow. I did end up actually melting that bezel, but the cool thing about this low temperature solder is you can move your pieces around kind of. So if something moves and you don't like where it's at, you can just heat it up and kind of bump it around. That one ended up getting melted. Accidents happen. So, but once again, spraying it with a spray bottle just kind of helps set everything in place, because if you go to pick that up, all of your bezels will slide off the face of your belt buckle because the back plate's hot and it takes a long time for it to cool down because those belt buckle blanks are super thick. So then after that, you just clean it up, sand everything down, get in there with your little, Dremel tools and just get everything clean. And then you're going to use your Presto blackener and just follow the instructions on the back, do whatever it says to do. I did 2 coats, and then after I do my Presto blackener, I clean it all off and then seal with Renaissance wax. And Renaissance wax is really nice too. You can seal stones with it. You can seal wood with it. There's just a lot of really neat uses. But one other thing that I would like to mention is I did dome my buckle, and I just hollowed out a piece of wood and put a convex metal cap thing and just whacked it, and that domed my buckles just fine. This is the Renaissance wax I was talking about. So after you've cleaned your piece, after blackening it, you're going to go through with your Renaissance wax and really just seal everything really well and then wipe it off. And sometimes it looks kind of dry to me. And so I'll actually go in with oil, like cutting oil or not motor oil, but some sort of nice light oil that you can use to seal the metal even further. Steel buckles are a whole different ballgame. Whenever you're selling them and advising them for your clients, make sure that you are including at-home care with them, telling them how to take care of them using Renaissance wax at home or some other type of sealant. They will rust if they get wet, so tell them to keep them away from moisture. You just really want to stay away from moisture, keep them oiled and conditioned and stored in a cool, dry place. And then after that, I went in with my Dremel and my polishing wheel and just polished up the bezels, and I think it turned out great. This is Larimar that I used, and I'm very happy with how this buckle turned out, and I hope this video is helpful to you.